So I've been trying to find all the gold loot in the new Deja Loot Kings Canyon mode based off the community run map, which is up on the subreddit, and I noticed that there were a whole bunch of things on there which aren't actually on the map. I don't know if maybe people got them in loot ticks and thought that it was a real spawn, but I figured I would make a video clarifying where all of the gold items actually are. Now, Anvil Receiver is not going to be on this list, but if you do want to see that, those are actually all where they're supposed to be, so you can check the link in the description and I'll have that map for you. But let's get into our first set of items here, and I'm going to be talking about the gold backpacks. So as you can see, if you come down into the Wraith's Lab Town Takeover area and you go into this main room, not the first set, but into that very big open room in here with all the water, there is a wingman, a blue body shield, and a gold backpack, as well as just some other miscellaneous stuff lying around. So it is a really good place to drop. Just know that this is a very dangerous area. Now I will show it on the map, but just remember that it's underground. So even though it looks like it's on top of the map, it's actually under it. Now this next one is going to be over in swamps, and it's going to be in this building closest to Hydro Dam up on the second floor. There is some pretty good stuff in here. You got a few shotguns, a Phoenix kit, and the gold backpack, so definitely not a bad spot to drop depending on where the plane route is, but you can always consistently get some good gear if you go there. Now let's talk about the digital threats though. The first one, as you can see, is down underneath Refinery, and if you go into that gas station area, you'll see that in one of those little like outposts there is a digital threat inside with a Mozambique. Obviously not the best gear, but it is a digital threat, so if you're looking for one, I didn't get a chance to really explore inside that building, but the loot on the outside is pretty bad. Now the next one's going to be up in Slum Lakes, and this is one that was not on that community map. In fact, it had it somewhere else in Slum Lakes, and I could not find it anywhere over there. I think it might have been a loot tick that just randomly spawned, but this is in that little outpost all the way in the top of Slum Lakes, and you can always find it there. The third one is underneath the Leviathan's foot, and I'll show you where it is on the map, but I actually could not get the Leviathan to lift up his foot, but I have seen people talking about it being under there, and one of my friends actually found it underneath that foot. The fourth digi threat that I'm going to talk about is over in Airbase, and if you go all the way up on that top left scaffolding where the stairs are, if you go to the top, there's a loot bin with a Spitfire, a full set of white armor, and that digi threat, so definitely not a terrible place to land if you're choosing to land at Airbase. In fact, it's actually some of the best loot there. If you go over to the Octane Gauntlet and land in the corner where I'll show on the map, you can find an R301, a Sentinel, and there's a digital threat with an RE45 over in that other loot bin over there. If you're choosing to land at the Gauntlet, this is actually probably your best bet. Not really many people land over there, and you can get some solid guns and a good sight. Now for our final one, if you're up in swamps, all the way in the top corner of swamps in one of the little wooden structures over by where the bridge crosses the waterfall, you can see that there is a digi threat in that little shack. Now let's talk about the only gold helmet on the map. It's going to be all the way up in artillery in that top right hand corner building. Now there's nothing else really in this building, so I wouldn't land there. If you rotate through to get the helmet, that's fine, but there really are no weapons or anything in there. And on the community run map, it says that there's another gold helmet over by the wetlands, but I searched every building and bin pretty thoroughly over there and I could not find it. So if you find it, please let me know. Now let's talk about this gold shield, which is going to be in the canyon that cuts into Hydro Dam. There's really nothing else here besides this gold shield. There are a couple P2020s and I believe an alternator, but other than that, there's really nothing. So I wouldn't land here unless you're planning on looting the outskirts of towns for the rest of the game. Now let's talk about the gold barrel stabilizer, which you can find up at the top of Wraith's Labs, outside up by the little house, by the portal that sends you down underneath, and I'll show that on the map as well, but I think that's pretty self-explanatory where it is. Now the gold Sentinel is inside the Ring of Fire at the Octane Gauntlet. I highly would recommend against ever coming here for this Sentinel. There are a lot of other guns that people will definitely have before you can get that, as well as a blue and a purple body shield, so unless you're either insanely good or you have a really good team with you who are looted up, I think it's probably better to pull this off somebody's body. And last but not least, we have the Knockdown Shield, which you can get by going to Thunderdome, and that's in one of the bins by this respawn beacon. And I'd be careful dropping here because there really isn't anything else nearby. In fact, all of Thunderdome has pretty bad loot. If you go up by the 3 bins over by where the cliff is above you, you can find a flatline and a hemlock as well as an L-star, but that's really about it. So just be careful. But that's my list of all of the gold items in the new Kings Canyon Deja loot mode. If I missed any, please let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take it easy.
I'm gonna kill him with just arc stars. my god, he's done.
There's your clip-worthy video.
Wait a second.